1890, there was a trading post. The name was in Chicago. The Puerto Rican boast was DuSable, founder of this great city. Miss Burroughs named this place for his memory. That's right. Well, come on, baby, don't you want to go? Yeah. Well, come on, baby, don't you want to go? Yeah. To our favorite places, a sweet home, Chicago. Well, 1 and 1 is 2, and 2 and 2 is 4. DuSable left Chicago looking better than before. Come on, but baby, don't you want to go? Yeah, to our favorite places, a sweet home, Chicago. Well, 1 and 1 is 2, and 2 and 3 is 5. Come along with me, take a ride on Lakeshore Drive. Come on, but baby, don't you want to go? Yeah, to our favorite places, a sweet home, Chicago. Yeah, to our favorite places, ETA Creative Arts Foundation. To our favorite places, like Ensemble Fever. To our favorite, this is the chance where you shout out your favorite places in Chicago. Favorite places, yeah. To our favorite places, yeah. To our favorite places, Washington Park. To our favorite places, to our favorite places,
Roosevelt University.
To our favorite places.
DuSable Museum.
American history. To our favorite places. Sweet home. Sweet home. Sweet home. Sweet home.
Chicago.
We have Ayinde, Jean-Baptiste. He is a poet and political strategist who hails from Chicago and now resides in Brooklyn, New York. His digital home is thundermakingwords.com. He is the creator of Drum Language, a podcast which examines the Black experience across the African diaspora. If you would please put your hands together for Mr. Ayinde.
In Haitian oral tradition, there is an exchange of honor and respect that consecrates the bond between the speaker and the audience. So when I say honneur, you meet me with respect. Honneur. Respect. Thank you. This is for Dr. Burroughs, whose poem, What Shall I Tell My Children Who Are Black, served as the first words that I spoke into the ears of newborn children in my community, and who built this place. And I hope also that we are able to draw some clear lines between the journey and work of when DuSable liberated spaces like this one and the work of an elder and ancestor like Baba Tokwe Lumumba. So one time for ancestry, can you say with me, free the land?
Free the land.
Did that count as one time? Free the land.
Free the land.
For those of you who don't know, those people, please inform yourselves. And elders, please inform young people. I'm gonna try to do 3 things fast. When I wrote the first version of this piece, my editor asked me, DuSable City, is that a thing? Like, do people say that where you're from? I said, not that I've heard before, but it makes sense to me. And there's a power in naming ourselves. So if it makes sense to you, then let it move. DuSable City.
DuSable City.
On air. Depending on who you ask, African American history began in 1502, when Columbus introduced the African slave trade to the island he had claimed 10 years earlier for the Spanish crown, naming it Hispaniola. The people he met there called it Ayinde. It didn't have a last name then, and neither did its first heroes, Caonabo, Anacaano, Enriquillo. Later, 2 of Hispaniola's African sons went north. Juan Rodriguez landed on Manhattan in 1613, before the Dutch or English, becoming its first non-native settler. In the mid-18th century, Jean-Baptiste DuSable, a traveler and entrepreneur, would migrate from St. Mark to New Orleans, then St. Louis to Peoria and Michigan City, before he ended up in Chicago. The Bodewagmi, or Keepers of Fire, purportedly said the first white man here was a black man. But Point DuSable might be better understood as something other than a link in the chain, the long chain of white discoverer-conquerors. Both Point DuSable and Rodriguez were in a sense the harvest of empire. Economic refugees leaving home for better opportunities. They were unsanctioned, unchartered by European powers, and in today's parlance, undocumented. Others may say that in a way we were not yet African until we were forced together in the pressure chamber of the slave ship, in the box of the plantation, prisoners of war and abductees stripped of names with no common tongue. Following this thread, African American history could equally be said to begin centuries later with the Haitian Revolution, the first Pan-American moment in Pan-African moment in world history. Perhaps we didn't even become black at the moment that they named us, but became black in 1805 at the moment Dessalines named us so, when whatever child of Africa made it whole to Haiti's shores was briefly Haitian and free. Point DuSable missed that moment of uprising and solidarity, which spurred the Louisiana Purchase and brought the French Empire to its knees. Maroon, rebel, and affranchi together, the fragile moment of red and blue unity that birthed a black nation. But his own story, though equally limited by its colonial realities, was also driven by freedom dreams. He faced the threat of enslavement, played the role of violence interrupter, entrepreneur, and political prisoner before establishing his most famous settlement at a historic regional crossroads where the Eschicago River met a freshwater sea. He was apparently a devout Catholic, but still, we would say in Creole, "Lui te ouvrier barrière," when he opened the gates for us. These days, the mention of Chicago yields similar consternation and dismay as that of Haiti. A tightening of the mouth, a flick of the eyes, a shake of the head, and something happens in the shoulders. Depending on who one asks, DuSable City, like Haiti, has a last name, one which represents a parallel devolution to our own bloody divorce from France and a history of exclusion. From the Pearl of the Antilles to the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. Likewise, the city of big shoulders is as often now referred to as the murder capital of America. These surnames suggest madness and serve to silence. Silencing is its own type of violence, obliterating the foundations of communal memory and potential solidarity. There are places, crossroads, deltas, and graveyards where new worlds are possible, where guerrilla warriors might cripple empires, where the sound of a horn, lambi or brass, can summon men and women to fight for freedom. Haiti is still one of those places. Chicago too. Call it DuSable City or Cité des Sables. These days, they need some of the same things. Solidarity rather than simplified relief. Support for grassroots indigenous leadership. And real opportunity for the people there. Relevant education, food security, food sovereignty, access to healthcare, partners rather than saviors, power with the people, shelter from the wind. Both could stand to draw from their connection to the spirit of Puente Sal, trailblazer. On air.
Respect.
And y'all still here? I want to do a thing that doesn't have a title, actually. A thing that came to me, I was fortunate to share with some of my brothers at the Brooklyn Museum. I'm gonna go slow, and I know I have only a few minutes left. I'm gonna go slow so you can hear me. Get up, stand up, for a heaven here on earth. Bread leavens, blood spills, decide what freedom's worth. Some ask why we poor, won't tell why they rich. Land, bodies, and Bibles, the old bait and switch. 500 years of state terror to keep us caged and humble. Prepare for new futures, our gods sent us to rumble. When the market hits the room, we look for exit signs. Evacuated histories, they selling us better lives. Happiness digitized, freedom commodified. Think I'm more interested in stick-up kids revolutionized like come up off this freedom jack. I will not apologize. They will have to kill us all to bottle up what Haiti started, even as they dig for gold in the graves of our departed. Without this hungry money, might could all be healthy. In holistic systems, the definition of wealthy. Bankrupt corporate structures and a failed mission. Home of the brave is its own contradiction. Nuclear stockpiles and embargoes, drone strikes on that bully tip. Got the nerve to cry foul when the oppressed get on that gully tip. Ultra-democracy requires slavery. So what's the motto? Overstand yourself in continuum, all else follows. Heir to my ancestors, sire to my descendants. We got a right to life, declare our independence. New guards for our defense, no matter the precedent. Loose rap on post-black sets dangerous precedents. Run tell Trayvon and Rakia, Kamani, Jordan, and Renisha, tell their people the relevance. Absentee elders, we revoking your seniorities. Shorties in killing fields, no controlling legal authority. We ain't far from the sky. Some of us were just forgotten. Can't blame the fruit if some turned out rotten. Absent food prey on each other on a block that's open season. Activate our shade, prepare ourselves to feed them. Beside guerrilla Amazons and arisen Africans, our code names are biblical. Call me Santa Barbara or Sao Joao Batizado, macheteros y machaderos. Cane in our veins, blood sign our name. Same cane that makes sweet from bitter, distill to libation and let the gods enter. On air.
Respect.
Now I'm gonna do the thing that I was asked to come here and do, now that I've done all the things that I really wanted to do. And bring us forward with some optimism, some faith, and some hope. Black star bound, black sun shining, sweet weather and that beat inside our breasts, which will always save us. Source code to boom back, boom chick and that thump. What we want is what we believe made manifest. Let it breathe. Horn section come in. Hallowed conch and quadruped. We blow the reveille. Breathe uhuru. Deep diaphragm what? Strings together. Weaving joys and pains, triumphs, defeats, and hope, and will, and love, and lineage. Strum the wavelengths of all our colors. Red notes, yellow notes, brown and black notes, blue notes, true still. Maroons, indigo, vibrate deeply. Keys unlock 5 tones we carry, recall Mbira and balafon. Gourds hang, full of our wisdom. And we sing a song full, truths and hopes, shaped by our passage, over and through. We sing limbo, we sing of redemption, we sing of rivers, for all these we have known. We sing from heart and soul and root. All three make us Hugh people. We sing pride, power, and take no mess. We haven't finished singing. On air.
Respect.